book, The Shape of the Keyhole, and then I'll read some poems, 2 poems from one section, and then a couple of poems from another section. The introduction says, in 1650, in Cambridge, Massachusetts, a woman was falsely accused and hanged for bewitching to death her friend's child. The single and remarkably brief historical account includes this accusation by the child's nurse. She did make much of the child, and then the child was well, but quickly changed its color and died in a few hours. Almost immediately after the woman was hanged, denying her guilt to the end, it was discovered that the child died because the nurse brought him with her into the woods in the freezing cold so she could be with her secret lover. The book is in 4 sections. The first section is the woman's arrest. The second section is the so-called trial. The third section is 3 to 4 days when she is awaiting her execution. And then the last section is the hanging. So these are the first 2 poems from the first section.
You're muted again.
I don't know why that happened. I'm sorry. I'll start this poem again. The one in the constable's robe taps knuckles on her door. Fingers fisted white around bone, wrist the knocker hinge. Taps his knuckles. She empties the wash bucket, walks round to the front, sees the back of the man. Yes? Bucket clanks, rolls to a rock, stops. A lit fuse his knuckle fist. No warning, the knock not a warning, the knock a command, a sentence. Read it forward, in reverse. Subject, verb, ignite, verb, subject. The end starts here. Footnote. Indecipherable command, the knock. She doesn't know the end encoded in the beginning. Code breakers deep asleep, even awake, if ever awake, which key? The shape of the keyhole is the shape of the key. The next batch of poems are from that section where she's waiting. It takes place over 3 to 4 days and it's in different voices. Massachusetts Body of Liberties, number 44. No man condemned to die shall be put to death within 4 days next after his condemnation. She begs notice, begs not to be noticed, keep away, step so close the fear in her breath mists your face, scintillates, hubbub, thrill, excitement, dizzy, spinning, chasing, tag, you're it, but you're not it, not her. She's too shocked to be shamed, too shamed to be in shock. She is concentric center and its widest ring, ripples cause and reverberation. The thrown stones plunk swallowed by silence. She is not the first centricity, first to be hanged, first innocence, not the last. Name your obedient dog verdict. Heel verdict, heel. Name a feral tabby guilty. Mauled mouse in its paws, chewed feather whiskers. Name a flighty songbird prisoner. Name the ant forever hauling crumbs, mighty. He, her husband, says, My brown eyes, two yoked oxen steered straight ahead. What color her eyes? Blue? Reins gripped tight, road pitted and gullied. Her eyes, hazel? Our supper table too narrow for talk. In bed, my palm turned from hers. When I watched her pluck weeds from beans, I might say, your bonnet has untied. Her fingernails bitten, toenails crusted, left front tooth chipped, and if she laughed, her dog tooth guarded an unapologetic black hole. I looked when she wasn't looking. Neck crooked, head cocked, ear free to hear again the omitted not from guilty, not brought yesterday to pieces. 3 fingers under her jawbone to the left of her chin, the vein pulses inside, outside her skin. She tosses her head back and forth, swivels it back and forth, tosses, swivels, head, face, eyes. She shuts out her eyes. Her neck flops her chin to her chest. She was the one who always double checked. Buckets centered under the udder, laundry clipped secure to the line, hands open to catch what came at her. Palms wide to break a fall, block danger. Nightmare won the race, practiced running in the dark, memorized tree roots, potholes, pre-envisioned the obstacles, could run the race in its sleep. Nightmare yanked her arm, tugged her wrist, shouldered her off the track. Husband says, caustic lie, spit it out, spatter the acid back in their faces, deface the face of their accusation. I know better. I'll be chased out of town, never to see again the ghost of the wife I'll never see again. I'll be branded, accomplice, pleader, worse, the crazed man who calls the impossible, impossible. Nightmare hoists its trophy chest high. People shower the braggart with their eyes. Bugles, confetti, the celebration wakes her, wrestles her back to sleep, shouts into her face, wrestles her to sleep. Surrounding moment is momentum, spiraling down a funnel spout, rushing to the river where a woman is stolen by current, to the well where a girl at the bottom apologizes for her worth, to the courthouse where one word ends a life. In momentum is moment, one link in a long chain, is moments plucked, scrambled one at a time. Inside moment, momentum agitates to be unleashed. She says, I did his doing got done. Heaped buckets so no berries bled, re-sewed his cuffs to sleeves in invisible stitches, strangled geese, scraped tendons from the chopping block, baked the pies he brought the young widow. Mrs. they call me, but my mother named me before the wide sea yanked free from the dock, before I waved to the memory of me in her arms. Waves washed away waves. I talked to myself. My mother said a woman talks to herself. Dear, dear diary self, it's me. I am. But soon no longer. And never more of a name than his Mrs. White caps, swells, crests. At the ship rail, my name clutched me, but gales threw my name overboard, and having never known the sea, I never learned to swim. Even if I had jumped in and kept my name afloat, how, with my little breath left, could I have refilled its lungs? Now, no name but his wraps me, and barely a weighty, moth-eaten shawl. Soon her head will squeeze through the noose, loop, rope, twisted by law a uniform number of times. Hemp needles will welt her cheek more red than shame, more red than terror. Her jaw a bleeding crosshatch, ears pinned back, chin aligned in its assigned position on the precipice. Massachusetts Body of Liberties, number 47. No man shall be put to death without the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses, or that which is equivalent thereunto. Witness 1, nurse, who painted in her quick-drawn outlines with opacity. 2, silence, who inherited its loud acquiescence. 3, nightmare, who led the race from the get-go and never relayed the baton. Thank you.